Hi everyone, welcome to another video. So this is going to be another sketchbook session. I'm going to do it in real time. So let's set, let's not show you my messages, hang on. Right, so we need a timer and I'm going to put the timer on for 30 minutes. So you can kind of see my face in the reflection. Hello. Right, so I'm gonna start that in a second. I have actually been doing some sketching today. But yeah, so basically I'm taking part in one of the Make Art That Sells courses, and it's all about editorial illustration. And we've got our assignment, and it's to illustrate some lyrics, some song lyrics, by an artist I've never actually heard of. She's called Lizzo, I think that's how you say her name. So because I haven't really heard of her before, I thought I would just do some sort of sketches in my sketchbook to just kind of familiarise myself with what she looks like and how she poses and things, and then after that I can sort of try and work out what I'm going to be drawing for the assignment. But yeah, this is what I've done so far. You can see I've been using marker pens that have kind of bled through the page a little bit, but yeah, if you've seen my other videos where I've done sketchbook things, you'll see that I like using marker pens to kind of make it a little bit looser, and it just means that I can sort of use it to decide like roughly the pose and where things are, and then I've gone back in just with like a fine liner. So I've got one more where I sort of mapped out the body shape, and as you can see it's quite rough. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the timer. The book keeps wanting to bend upwards. Right, let's get this going, and hopefully I'll get lots of drawing done, and hopefully I'll manage to keep talking at the same time. So here we go. Start. Now I need to remember which picture this was because I've put them all on a Pinterest board. So, oh yes, this is the one where she's kind of dressed up in kind of like a wedding dress. So the song that we're doing, it's a song called Truth Hurts. And yeah, it's not a song that I've heard before, just because I don't really sort of follow, like, I guess it's kind of like rap, and is it hip hop maybe? I'm not really sure. It's not the kind of music that I listen to. Oh, now, I don't know if I can make this reference picture any bigger. The angle of it, I was sort of giving her a weird expression to start with, just because her eyes are kind of looking down, but anyway, I'm going to go with it. This is just a sketchbook, so if it goes wrong, it goes wrong, and then we'll just move on to the next one. But yeah, the types of music I like listening to, I think I listen to quite, you know, a range of music, but I wouldn't say that like rap is something that I'm really interested in. But yeah, I like rock music, I like indie music. My taste has kind of mellowed out a little bit. When I was a teenager, I used to sort of like some, I was never into like really kind of like shouty stuff, but at one point I used to really like 9 Inch Nails, which is kind of different to what I listen to at the moment. I was also really into Evanescence, although I still really like Evanescence as well. Although it's interesting to sort of think about like bands and like musicians that you love, and that you listen to, you sort of think, would I listen to this now if I heard it? And sometimes I think it's kind of like a nostalgic thing. But yeah, mine and Tom's tastes are not really the same either. So Tom, he really likes Meatloaf. Some of the stuff we like is the same. So we both like Queen. But yeah, what else? We both like Linkin Park. Again, I don't know if I would listen to Linkin Park now if I hadn't heard them when I was younger. So if we want something that we both know, and if we're kind of in the mood to like have a bit of a kind of sing along, then we'll put on either some Linkin Park, or one of our like kind of guilty pleasures is Britney Spears. Yeah, I think just like the time, like we just know it quite well. But yeah, they're very catchy songs. But yeah, no, who do I like? It depends really, because I kind of go through different stages. But yeah, I like London Grammar. I like quite sort of folky stuff. So at one point I was getting quite into Of Monsters and Men, and I like First Aid Kit as well. It's quite sort of melodic, just quite sort of pretty. Who else do I like? I like Black Keys. Not to be confused with the Black Eyed Peas. Quite different. I like some of our Arctic Monkeys stuff, but kind of like the newer stuff, not the older stuff. Anyway, I'm excited about this assignment. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do for it at the moment. I've sort of been reading over... I don't think this looks anything like her, by the way. Oh dear. Right, let's move on to another one, and let's pick another pose. What one should we do? Okay. Let's do this one. I've got this brown, which I've tested out, which I think is kind of similar to her skin tone. But yes, I have tried illustrating lyrics before. So I remember illustrating lyrics to Florence and the Machine. I think that was to What the Water Gave Me, to that song. So like I drew, it was kind of like a portrait of Florence, and then I sort of made it so that like she was floating kind of in all this water, and then there was some kind of like sea kind of creature. Right, so the pose that I'm looking at here is one of her sitting down in a chair. So I thought I'd try and put her skin in first. Actually, I'm going to do her shoe as well. But yeah, these are just kind of very rough sketches, like I said before. Maybe we'll just use the grey to sort of fill in the other bits. But yeah, I don't want to get too kind of caught up in the detail. But yeah, let me know what sort of music you listen to in the comments, by the way, and if you've heard this song. Actually, I said I haven't heard this song, but when we were doing like the Facebook Live for the course, they played a clip of it that was in a film. I think it was called Someone Great. It was sort of like a rom-com. And it had the actress who plays Jane the Virgin. I can't remember what her name is off the top of my head. But yeah, that song is in the film, and so it was a clip of her like singing along to it. But yeah, so from what I can tell, this song is kind of like about a breakup, and it seems to be that it's maybe somebody breaking up via text as well, because there's a line that says something about like, I can't remember, it's something like, don't text me, like tell it to my face or something like that. And there's something about them being like in a hair salon, and there's a line about like shampooing you out of my hair, which reminds me of that song, like, you know, that song, gonna wash that man right out of my hair. I don't know if that's where that comes from. But yeah, so I was thinking maybe I could draw her like sat sort of having her hair done, like maybe with her friend, and then having something to do with texting at the same time. Right, I should probably draw her face. And I'm going quiet because I'm concentrating. But yeah, I just thought that before I kind of start this assignment, it would just be good to sort of do some kind of sketches just to get me a bit kind of warmed up. Because otherwise I think you can end up just kind of staring at like a blank canvas and you're like, I have no idea, no idea what to draw. I like how she's sort of posed with her hand. She seems to have lots of poses where her hand's kind of near her face. Yeah, how are we doing? Right, 20 minutes to go. But yeah, so I guess as is sort of tradition in these sketchbook drawing sessions, I've been talking about what I've been like watching on TV. So recently we've been watching Star Trek, so the kind of the newest version, that's like the TV series, and I've never really been very much into Star Trek before. I have seen, was there like 1 or 2 films of Star Trek? I have seen them, but yeah, I was never like really into it. And Tom has already seen, because I think there's like 2, there's 2 like new series. I think it's called Discovery, because I think that's like the name of the ship. And I think, do they usually name the series after the ship maybe? So yeah, we've been watching that. I think we were just started watching it, even though Tom had seen it already, just because we needed something to watch. And I was like, do you want to watch this? And he's like, no, do you want to watch this? And I was like, why don't we watch Star Trek? Because I know that Tom likes it already. But yeah, I've been really getting into it. And yeah, I think my favourite character is Tilly. So yeah, she wants to be like, what's the name? What, is it captain? Yeah, she wants to train to be a captain. And she's just a very sweet character. Kind of she feels like that she talks too much and that she kind of puts her foot in it sometimes, and she's got some like kind of confidence problems, but she still like tries all the time and is just a very kind of like positive character, which is something that I like. And yeah, just really kind of, yeah, just really sweet. So yeah, I've been enjoying that. Shall we give her some eyeshadow maybe? And should we sort out this shoe? Because this shoe just looks like your leg and your shoe have morphed into one thing. But yeah, I thought if I do a couple of these sketches in my sketchbook, then it's sort of doing like some research as to maybe what kind of clothes I could put her in for the illustration, and just kind of noticing like the little detailed sort of bits. But yeah, what sort of style she wears. Okay. Should we go on to another one? Oh, I've left your... This hand looks very strange. Hands are always... They're difficult to draw anyway, aren't they? But I think trying to draw a hand quickly and with a marker pen is sort of tricky. She's got quite long nails. Okay. Moving on. What one should we do next? So, I'm clapping just to sync the audio up, by the way, because it just stopped recording for a second. I need to figure out how to actually stop it turning off. I don't know if there's just a limit with my camera as to how long it will record for. Yeah, I was talking about Star Trek, wasn't I? So I really wasn't expecting it to have quite so many twists in it, and there was quite a lot of foreshadowing, which I liked. And yeah, I don't want to say too much because I don't want to ruin it if you haven't seen it. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you are a fan of Star Trek and if you've watched it. And oh, she's got her hands here. Okay. Reading wise, I've just started listening to the Ravenbirds. I haven't got very far, and I'm listening to it on an app called Libby, which I don't know if you've heard of it. My sister told me about it because she's really into like books and does a lot of reading, and it's basically it's like a library app, so you can borrow either audiobooks or ebooks using your library card, which is really cool. So you don't sometimes you'll go on there and the thing won't be available straight away, so you have to sort of place it on hold. But yeah, it's a great app for having like free audiobooks. But yeah, so the like I said, I've only just started listening to the Raven Boys, but so far what's happened is that there is this character called Blue, and because I'm listening to the audiobook, for a little while I was like, is she called Blue or is she called Lou? But no, she is called Blue, as in like the colour. But yeah, and basically her family, she has a family of, they're all kind of like psychic in some way, except she doesn't really have a power. She kind of amplifies other people's powers. And so her family, they tell like fortunes, and one of the things that they told her is that she's destined to kill the person that she falls in love with. So if she kisses the person that she's in love with, then they're gonna die or something like that. But she doesn't really know. It's a kind of slightly vague prediction because it doesn't really say, is like a quick peck on the hand going to be okay. But yeah, and then they can also, they're in this graveyard and they see all these spirits of these people who are going to die in the next year. My camera has changed the battery pack. Hang on. So the battery pack, the battery went as well. So I'm starting again. Oh, I will get through this video. Right. And I was just kind of getting into the swing of things. So I was talking about the Raven Boys, wasn't I? It's a good thing that I've got 2 batteries. But yeah, so they can see these kind of spirits of, they're not exactly ghosts, because yeah, it's the people who are going to die. And then they sort of speak to the spirits and they get the names of them. And usually Blue, she can't actually see the spirits, but she's just there to sort of amplify sort of the other person's powers. But this time she does see this young boy who's apparently going to die. And I'm guessing, because I really haven't got that far in it, but I'm guessing that this is the boy that she's probably going to fall in love with and then kill. So, yeah. I'm doing another hand, which hands are really tricky. Okay. Let me know if you've ever taken one of these courses actually, or a different course, if you have any course recommendations. But yeah, I thought I would quickly squeeze this in. We're actually, after I've done this, I think we're gonna walk to the shops, walk into town. Tom has recently got back from work. He's on early shift. So yeah, we've got just like a couple of checks to pay in. I should probably give you some feet, shouldn't I? Got nice yellow trainers on. Yeah, so we've got some checks to pay in, and we need to buy another clothes horse. Very exciting. Our other one broke, and this time of year clothes they take ages to dry, don't they? So we've got like a massive build up of washing to do because it takes so long. We're down a clothes horse. So yeah, very, very exciting shopping trip. I want to go to, there's this little kind of corner shop that does like kind of specialist sort of food, and they do lots of kind of like Indian food and all different like pulses and rice. And there's a particular kind of rice that I want to get because I really want to know how, I want to try and make a masala dosa, which if you haven't had one, they're so good. And it's basically, the way I describe it is kind of like an Indian pancake. So, or like a crepe or something, and it's sort of wrapped up and then you can have it like sort of stuffed with things. And we've only had it a couple of times, and actually around here I've never had one, so I don't know if they're just kind of popular like in certain places. But yeah, I really want to make one, and I was having a look at different recipes, and I think like the kind of traditional way of doing it is you have to get this special kind of rice and then some lentils, and like you soak them, and then you soak them for quite a few hours, then you blend them up, and then you soak them for some more, and you kind of like ferment it and then sort of make this dough. Yeah. Right, how long have we got? We've got 7 minutes. Shall I attempt to do one more? And then I will show you what I've done. oh, maybe this one with this. She seems to wear, on stage, she seems to wear a lot of these kind of bodysuit things that look a bit like kind of swimming costumes, but like very kind of fancy, like costume. Yeah. Right. So this thing is red. It's very feathery. Oh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it in this time. It'll be quite rough. But yeah, I really want to do more cooking at the moment. And I did quite a lot of cooking yesterday, actually. I did a soup. So I did a butternut squash soup. And I love avant-garde vegan. Yeah, I will link that in the description. Yeah, the guy's name is Gaza, and yeah, I've tried a couple of his recipes and I really like them. So yeah, I actually used 2 of his recipes yesterday. I did the butternut squash soup, which was this kind of, it was part of the 5 ingredient meals. Now this photo only goes down to about there, so I won't try and make up the rest of your legs, so we'll just go to there. But yeah, so I made a butternut squash soup. It had maple syrup. Yeah, it was pretty much just roasted butternut squash and maple syrup. It was meant to have sage in, but I didn't have any sage. So I put a bit of coriander instead. I don't know if coriander and sage are really the same. Probably not. But I thought coriander goes quite well with like carrot. So I thought, I mean, it's not really the same vegetable, but I thought it might work. And then the other thing that I made recently, which turned out really, really well, which was another recipe from Avant-Garde Vegan, it was a katsu curry, which whenever I go to Wagamama's, I love getting a katsu curry. So yeah, I tried that. It's, I suppose, not really like the healthiest thing because like you had to sort of fry the vegetables, but actually I made it twice because I made it once and yeah, and I did it sort of followed the recipe kind of like to the T, so did the sauce and then like fried the vegetables in oil, and then yeah, because we had some friends coming round, but then yeah, yesterday I thought I'd do the same. Yeah, so we had friends round on Saturday and then yesterday was Sunday, and I thought, you know what, I really liked that, so I'm gonna make it again, but I did it a little bit different, and I like just roasted the vegetables in the oven. But yeah, the sauce is so nice, and the sauce is like, it's quite simple. It's an onion, a carrot, and a banana, which sounds kind of random, but it works so well, and it just kind of gives it this nice like sweetness to it. And yeah, and then you just put like a couple of spices in, but it seems like quite a good dish to have just to oh, I've got all these little diamond bits to do and I don't have very long to do it because I'm chatting too much. But yeah, it seems like quite a good dish to do because I think lots of these ingredients you would have like in the cupboards already. We've got quite a lot of different like spices and things. Right, add a bit of bling. I've got this dark, is this oh, that's a grey, that will do. Just add a bit, because some of these feathers are like darker. just try and draw a hand on here. But yeah, let me know if there's any recipes, particularly vegan recipes, because yeah, we're vegan, so let me know if you have any recommendations. Oh, let me do your hand here. Oh, so she's holding a microphone here. Although you can only really see the top of it, so how could I make... But yeah, I think when I do the actual illustration, and actually we only need to do the rough for the assignment, but it's quite difficult. I think the idea, like, I think once you've got the idea, it's fine, but sometimes coming up with the idea can actually be like the harder bit. But yeah, I think that I will probably come up with like my own pose, and I won't be necessarily using reference photos, but I just, because I don't really know this singer, I thought I'd do a couple of studies of her in my sketchbook. But yeah, and I really like drawing people actually, and it's good to sort of have a go at doing different body poses and things like that. Oh, 9 seconds to go. Alright, bit of eyeshadow. And then I think we're pretty much done. Right. Okay, so I will... Should we zoom in a little bit? Or I could hold the book up and I could show you what we've done. So, we've got this one. Very kind of showbiz. She seems to really like these kind of, they're sort of like, they're not really fishnets, but they're sort of see-through tights, but they've got these like thin little lines on them. Yeah, this one, the face didn't really turn out very well. I quite like this. I like her expression there. I think she looks quite cool. And here again, yeah. I want to sort of, yeah, capture some of this cool. I like this one as well. Again, this is very blingy and show business. But yeah, so that is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, as usual, let me know what you were up to, if you were doing some drawing with me, or if you had me on in the background. And yeah, I'd love to know your book, TV recommendations, and also recipe recommendations as well. And yeah, give it a like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!